I feel like there needs to be studies showing how a man taking the load off of a woman adds quality to his life and hers. You will live longer as a man if you are with a woman and you are taking the load off and the stress and certain burdens off that woman. If you do those things for a woman, I promise you that your quality of life as a man will be 10 times better. 10 times better. You wouldn't have to worry about shit. Same way that she don't have to worry about stuff, the things that you worry about, you wouldn't have to. You wouldn't have to worry about what you eat. You wouldn't have to worry about if your clothes clean. You wouldn't have to worry about little shit like that. If you do the little shit for her, I promise you, she will make your life so much easier. And she wouldn't be mad doing it. She would actually be happy to make your life easier. Because why? Her life is easier too. I feel like there.
I get what you're saying, except that these things do happen, but they happen for wives, right? They don't happen if you're talking about a burden. Let's just be clear, right? You're talking about a financial burden. You want men to do for you, and therefore you'll do things for them. I think we're conflating a lot of issues in the thought that if you're cooking and I don't have to worry about food, I don't have to worry about clothes being clean, single men have to do that. They have to eat, they have to clean their clothes. And if you're dealing with men that need you to do that for them, then you're swimming in the wrong pool. You can't expect a man that's been accomplished, that has waded his way through life to success, to think that he is in need of a woman to do basic things. He's got that covered. Either he does it well himself or he makes enough to hire that out. Uber Eats, convenience of having your place cleaned, your laundry done. There's you can send your laundry to get done. There's buildings that have in-home services. I live in a building. Yeah, I can call up, hey, I need this taken care of. So it's not a thing to believe that like it was before, having a woman come and clean and cook and take care of the domestic duties is enough of a sway for men today. We live in a different time, and you can't pick and choose what parts of history make sense to you. Have a woman's going to be able to do these things. Yet on the flip side, some women today are saying, "Yo, I don't cook, I don't clean." Remember Cardi B, one of your champions, says something just like that. So before we continue to dissect this, guys, continue to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss uploads, and we'll run this one back so we can really, sink our teeth into this one.
There needs to be studies showing how a man taking the load off of a woman adds quality to his life.
So now let's bring it down from the men that are able to do this without issue. They're making enough money, they're budgeted enough. We're taking off a financial load, and we'll do it in tiers. Say a financial load. Say he pays your rent. He pays your rent, right? And we, as men, we see when this happens to men. We call them simps. They're paying your rent, and you're still dealing with other men that you actually really care about. But say we leave that alone. He pays your rent, and then in turn, you now will cook and clean for him. Maybe that's usually we hear, oh, these are wifely duties. So if I'm not married to you, I'm not going to do these things. Okay. There's another hiccup. Some women today don't know how to do these things. It's just that's not part of the purview. They think those things are akin to slavery. It's another issue. Then just in the monetary sense, if I'm relieving some sort of burden like that from you, let's say average rent, let's call it let's be here. Let's say it's $1,500 to $2,500 a month, right? You pick your poison. What does it cost to have your place cleaned once a week, or have your food delivered, or have your food made? One of those things like Factor, those meal services that just bring it to your house and you just heat it up. Most men will go, okay, if I don't have time to do these things, I'll just do that. Or they can actually cook. It's not uncommon. It's not unheard of. Again, we are talking about an era, a bygone era where men largely stayed out of the kitchen. Today, men have no shame. They're like, yeah, I'll be in the kitchen. I love to cook. If you and I are together, yeah, I'll probably cook for you. I like that feel of that entertainment, being in the kitchen, me doing this. Hey, here's some gourmet popcorn. Here's some wine. Chill, relax. Let me do this for you. Let me take that load off for you. It becomes increasingly harder for you to do for a man unless you're aiming low. You're aiming low for men that don't know how to clean themselves, don't know how to actually cook, and in exchange for your, you know, labor, yeah, they'll pay for that. But you have to look at it, if we're just going to be transactional, we're going to look at it in that sense. You have to understand that the value add doesn't make any sense. It's cheaper if I just outsource this to professionals. And then there's no emotional attachment, there's no expectation after that. If you just want to delete yourself to just doing for a man in terms of labor, then you can't be surprised when men, first thing they come out their mouth and say, I want a woman that can cook and clean. If that's what you're offering, if that's what you put on the table, most men is going to get into the larger consciousness and say, okay, that's what you're good for. And the men that have navigated their life to the point where I can just afford to do that. It's an easier thing for them to say. It's an easier thing for them to just accept. Yeah, I'll just outsource this and get this done. This way, I'm not burdened by an expectation that I now have to do this in order to get this thing. Maybe years ago, it made sense when there was only one person working. But now I have to come in and subsidize your life, your bills, the decisions you made in your own life that got you where you are. And the reality is, a lot of that time, it comes with massive amounts of debt, student loan debt, car notes, insurance. And then we talk about maintenance that's so favorably talked about on social media. A man has to pay this, and this, and this. That amounts to a couple grand for you basically cooking and cleaning, which again, it's just cheaper for me to do on my own or to outsource it to professionals. So we have to be very careful of when we reduce ourselves to just this basic level of exchange. As a man, your life is going to you're going to live longer. Your life's going to be happier. The truth is, a lot of men are experiencing that in middle age, right? They've gone through a divorce. They've tried the married thing. It hasn't worked. They came out the other side. They rebuilt themselves. And a lot of men, especially on the channel, will say, yeah, I found peace. I found peace, and I don't want to do that again because of all the headaches to the top of it. When you are disingenuous in saying that, yeah, a woman's gonna be happy to do this. I got videos up. I have videos yet to post where we've seen women saying, yeah, my husband was perfect and he just wasn't my guy, my husband, my soulmate. So I left, the kids, I broke up this situation. So men aren't being necessarily, like, I don't want to say it as blunt as, but men aren't fooled by this sort of notion. If you just do this for us, then we'll do this for you and you'll have a happier life. Men are really seeking that happier life outside of a woman. And we should both be looking to do something just like that. You should find your happiness, you should find your peace before you try to integrate someone else into your life. That's the best bet. Rather than putting the onus on someone else, that they have to be the one responsible for your upkeep, for your happiness. You put all that on someone else, invariably they're going to fail. It's your standard, it's your test, it's your lessons, and you just plopping down in front of someone and they're supposed to ace it. They get some things wrong and then that's it. It's over. A lot of people out here don't give you grace in order to live up to a unvoiced standard. You have an unvoiced standard, you have an unvoiced expectation, and when those men fail to meet it or those women fail to meet it, you say, all right, this is over. How is that fair? How is that realistic if your goal is actually to be with someone? If your goal is to have your life be an easier one, and in turn you make that person's life easier. I think we have to be a lot more realistic about what we bring to. I know people hate to say it, but what you bring to the table. If you're saying I've got domestic chores, there might be a subset of men that say that's exactly what I'm looking for, and this deal is perfect for me. As long as your bills aren't ridiculous, or you're not asking me to finance your entire life, this exchange works for me. There are men they're fine with that. I'm thinking you might be hard pressed to find that because he becomes a target market. How many of you I mean, and that other bad word, how many of you are going to have to compete for a man that's willing to have that deal? So listen, again, if you think I missed something, let me know in the comments. If you think I'm spot on, again, let me know in the comments, right? I'm here for the conversations. I'll see you in the next one.